Where the hell has the season gone? It seems like only yesterday it was the end of August. It was hot as hell outside. And I was doing a video report for that ridiculous week zero BS they pawn off on us. Today, as I was handicapping this Saturday card, I realized that most of your Power 5 FBS schools, they only have 4 games left in the season after playing today. Yeah, week number 9, it is here in full swing. Hi, everyone. DeMarco here, and I've got a number of complimentary plays for this Saturday card for you. And FYI, I'm on a 93, 67, and 3 roll with the complimentary plays. And remember, these complimentary plays, they're the ones that I always call the best of the worst. The plays that I, for one reason or another, like a lot when I handicap the card, but they just fell out of favor. They just have a couple of warts, and they were relegated to complimentary play status instead of being my best bet. So those plays are coming up in just a moment. In terms of my best bet, of course, last Saturday it was Michigan crushing Michigan State. On Tuesday night, I had one in Conference USA, and you know how little I love that conference, right? It was Liberty getting the road cover at Western Kentucky today. Top-rated 15-time college football winner number 4 in a row. It's going to be on your Louisville-Duke game. And if you'd like it, it is the half-price play of the day once more, just like Michigan last week. And, guys, yes, the coupon code to get it is HALF, the word half. If you'd like it, it's the half-price play of the day. Easy for me to say, because I've always believed that there's no reason that you have to spend a lot to make a lot. And that's why I've always, especially with my own plays, relegated them to the half-price play of the day. Now, 2 things very quickly here. First of all, especially now with NBA underway and college basketball right around the corner, I will try to do video reports a little more frequently. If you'd like to be alerted when they're available, the easiest way to do so is to simply subscribe to the channel so you get an alert. I'm not trying to sell you anything here via YouTube. A lot of guys use it in order to send you alerts, especially in this industry, because they don't make money selling picks. They are actually trying to get you to watch their videos in order to solicit you and push you toward a certain sports book, because that's where they make their big money via the commissions and the sign-up incentives that they get a piece of when you bet through the sports book that they're pushing you to. I've never recommended a sports book in the 22 years since I created this site, and I'm not going to unless somebody wants to pay me a boatload of bucks and then, hey, give me a call. No, I'm just joking around with you. That's really the genesis for why most of these guys, and it's such a crowded field when you enter and look for anybody who's doing a video report giving away free picks. They don't really give a damn about the free picks. They don't really care about handicapping. It's all about SEO, search engine optimization, and sign-up bonuses. Not for you, for them, making commission on your sign-up bonuses. That's the reality. That's what sports books do. They churn and burn and they're constantly looking for customers. Again, as I always say about, and especially now with the NBA, just keep this in mind. The start of any season, no matter the sport, the first 3 weeks, it's when we have the advantage over the odds makers because the lines are never sharp. After teams play 4 or 5 games, that edge naturally dissipates, and the odds makers, again, the edge comes back to them. Oops, just hit the camera. But the time to make that money is early in the season. The other thing to keep in mind, I've opened up the comments section here on the site. There's some 2,000 of you watching these videos each and every day for football. Why not leave your plays and maybe a word or two, a comment or two about why you like a certain selection? This is a gambling community. I think it's cool that you let others know why you like a particular play too. So do so in the comment section. If I get an opportunity, I will let you know and pitch in my 2 cents about whether or not I think you have a good shot at winning today. Hey, it's kind of cool. Again, it's a gambling community. Why else would you be watching the video? I don't want to know why else. It's not my problem. Okay, let's get to your complimentary plays. Let's start with the game between North Carolina and Georgia Tech. My God, did North Carolina blow it last week. 6-0 start, right? All by double-digit margins. Average margin of victory, 18.4 points. And they take on Virginia. They lead 24-14, and they end up losing the game 31-27. It's typical of Mac Brown's tenure in Chapel Hill. They couldn't stop the run against Virginia. Oh, my God. I think the Cavaliers just picked up another yard on the ground, 228 yards rushing for Virginia, for Tony Elliott's team, and a much needed win for Tony Elliott and the Cavaliers in that game. But North Carolina, I think, is in a good spot today, even though they're an 11.5-point favorite, even though they've been lousy as a road chalk here over the past few years, 2-7-1 against the spread, laying double digits on the highway over the last 4 seasons, because everybody's going to have one of those hiccup games, and I think North Carolina had theirs last week. They're also in double revenge because they've lost outright in this series the past 2 years as a double-digit favorite, ironically. Last year, up 17-0, laying 21. They lost 2 years ago, laid 13.5 at home, lost 45-22. But listen, this Georgia Tech team, if you gave them the benefit of the doubt, which I did here on the video report last week, right? They were coming off that miraculous win at Miami of Florida because Mario Cristobal was a moron, okay? They had a bye. What did they do? They lose to Boston College. They lose to Boston College. It's just crazy. Their run defense allows 228 yards, 5.3 yards per carry. They lose to Boston College 38-23 last week at home, coming off the bye. Remember their previous home game? Go back 4 weeks. They were a 3-touchdown favorite against Central Michigan or Bowling Green. They lost that game 38-27. Haynes King, statistically, nice season. The Georgia Tech quarterback, 7 interceptions the past 3 games. Why? Because Georgia Tech can't run the ball. So I'm going to go with Derek May and North Carolina to rebound in this spot. Here's another game I like. Oklahoma State, -7.5 against Cincinnati. You know, early in the season, Cincinnati got off to that great start. Emory Jones looked like the second coming. But there's a reason that Emory Jones is with his third team. Remember, Florida, who was it, Arizona State too? Because Emory Jones is one of those guys that has all the potential, has the physique, has the great arm, has the athletic ability and the mobility, but it just doesn't always come together. And that's not putting all Cincinnati's problems on Emory Jones, but the Bearcats just aren't that good. Oklahoma State got off to a miserable start this season. Then Mike Gundy, it finally dawned on him. It's like, hey, if I pick one quarterback and I play him consistently, maybe my offense will suddenly do better. Damn, what a brilliant guy. Alan Bowman was his choice. Well, suddenly, they beat Kansas State 29-21. They beat Kansas 39-32. Then Ollie Gordon goes for 282 yards last week, and they beat West Virginia 48-24. Now, I don't think the Mountaineers are that good, but I know Cincinnati isn't that good. 5 straight losses, including an 0-4 start in their debut season as a Big 12 member, coming off a loss to Arizona State 34-17. Coming off a home loss to Baylor, 32-29. Also lost to Iowa State, 30-10. Also lost at BYU, 35-27. Also lost at home to Oklahoma, 20-6. I will lay the 7.5 points with Oklahoma State, and I will buy down the half point. Naturally, repeat after me, because the line, when it crosses 3, 4, 6, 7, and sometimes 10, I am buying down that half point with the favorite in this spot. Is there a team that needs a win more than Texas A&M? Is there a coach that needs a win more than Jimbo in College Station? Oh, I don't think so. The Aggies are coming off a bye. They lost 30-24 last year to South Carolina. They had won the previous 8 times those two met as a member of the SEC, the two teams. A&M's defense, it's doing the job, holding foes to 119 yards under the season average. South Carolina's coming off a 34-12 loss at Missouri, in which Spencer Rattler was sacked 6 times. I think this is the week the A&M offense actually puts enough points on the board to make the job the defense is doing look good. And that's why I'm willing to lay the 15.5 points with Texas A&M in this spot. Here's one, and I don't dip my toes into the Mid-American Conference that often for very good reason, but I've got to go in the Battle of the Bricks with Ohio minus the 6.5 points at home. Now, the Bobcats have won 13 of the last 16 in the series, going 10-5-1 against the spread in this spot. They won last year 37-21, outgaining Miami of Ohio 556-313 in that contest. Now, the main reason, let's face it, that I'm going with Ohio here is twofold. First, Miami of Ohio last week at home, big showdown against Toledo. They lost a game, but they lost more than just a game. Miami of Ohio lost the key component to its team, and that is its quarterback, Brett Gabbert, who suffered a really bad broken leg and had to undergo surgery. This is a guy that had already thrown for 1,600 yards, 14 touchdowns, and completed over 66% of his passes. Now, I know they're plugging in Avion Smith, who started 9 games a year ago, and he played very well in them, and he's also a very mobile quarterback as well, but I think this is just a great spot to take Ohio. They lost their season opener to San Diego State. They've since gone 6-1, with the only loss coming a couple of weeks ago on the road to Northern Illinois. I just think with Miami of Ohio coming off a huge loss at Toledo, also losing their quarterback, going into a series that has been very one-sided, it's a good place to lay the points with Ohio. And again, I buy down the half point in this spot with the Bobcats, which might be my only Mid-American Conference play of the entire season, and you should be very grateful about that as well. So those are your 4 freebies. If I had to rate them, I would say that North Carolina would be obviously number 1, because, again, I think this is just a great spot to take the Tar Heels to bounce back and to be in revenge as well. Number 2, boy, this is going to be tough. Number 2, I'm going to go with, I hate putting money on Jimbo. I'm going to say Texas A&M, coming off the bye, would be number 2. A close third would be Oklahoma State. And then just because it's a Mid-American Conference team and I don't like the conference, then I would go with Ohio. So that's your order. Once again, North Carolina, Texas A&M. And again, very close third would be Oklahoma State and then Ohio. That'll do it, guys. I wish you well today. And talk to you again tomorrow for your Sunday NFL action. Good luck, everybody.